let's do this sound clip because it's been burning a hole in my skull. I don't know if you remember from back in the early days of the Obama administration, there was a pastor of the Atla Church in Harlem who was a semi-regular, I believe, on Fox News because he was exposing President Obama as a Allah-praising sodomite, and to have an African-American preacher on Fox News criticizing the president was just too rich for them. Well, he's back in the news again. Apparently, he has, if not broken a story, certainly amplified it. This is quite a public service. Here is Pastor James David Manning of the Atla Church in Harlem. Was this just from a couple of days ago?
Yes.
Okay. And
Late
breaking stuff. Here he is. I guess as part of one of his sermons or just
I think he also
public
has
service?
a YouTube podcast type of show.
Let's play this clip.
The sodomites were outside of our church protesting. So we went out and took a look, and they had a big bucket of Starbucks coffee and all kind of other Starbucks paraphernalia with them. And they were all shouting, "Stop the hate now." They said that this church is a hate church and that I'm a hate preacher. But you remember that last week we appeared in several major online news services, Huffington Post being a major one, The Inquisitor being another. What else? Gay Star News, I think, was one. And just several papers wrote articles about us because we had stated that Starbucks is ground zero for Ebola. And we pointed up how these homosexual sodomite persons such as Dr. Craig Spencer, who lives right here in the Harlem area, who is a sodomite, that they frequent, that Starbucks is a place where these types frequent and a lot of body fluids are exchanged there. And Ebola, but the thing that I was not aware of is that there had been some information that had been released, and the Inquisitor news, online news service, carried this as a major story the week before, that what Starbucks was doing is that they were taking specimens of male semen and they were putting it in the blends of their lattes. Now, this is the absolute truth. It's right there. You can see it right there in Inquisitor Online Services. It was a big article about an investigation into Starbucks using male semen and putting it into the blends of coffees that they sell. I mean, can you imagine it? And I believe that they were doing that. You know,
Now, folks, I don't know if we need to comment on this, but before we do, I want to remind you that our sponsor is justcoffee.coop. Fair trade coffee, tea, or chocolate. Use the coupon code MAJORITY, get 10% off. You can get the Majority Report blend with or without semen. In fact, most of their blends are almost 100% guaranteed to not mix in with semen, because, of course, you would have to do that at home to make your latte. Can you just imagine what his congregation says? Very good on Ebola sources, not so great on the coffee selections. Have we got word back from Starbucks as to whether or not this is also the case with even the soy lattes, or is this just the?
Wouldn't that sort of be redundant?
The soy latte.
To get the soy latte with if you're.
I thought that's the way that you actually deal with the problems with soy.
Oh, is it the sodomite semen overcomes the soy?
Well, doesn't a lot of soy supposedly give you too much estrogen, and then you balance it out with the? I don't know. I don't know the science behind this, but
it's definitely used in the lattes. That's the best part of that clip. When I heard lattes,
should we come up with new Starbucks coffee names?
I also just think like I don't go to Starbucks much, but Starbucks
Anymore.
Yeah, anymore. Now I'm never gonna go, right? But like,
Wait, you didn't know this though?
No.
I mean, I always get the
I
extra
feel
semen
offended.
blend in my.
Why didn't you ever give me the
I'm
information?
sorry.
Man? No, but it's like body fluids being exchanged at Starbucks is one of the most dreary, bleak places
I
on
mean,
the planet. It's
Not my Starbucks.
It's like you're at.
Ebola's out of control at Starbucks. I mean, I would think that speaks for itself. I
I
mean,
like how they had a bucket of Starbucks coffee.
Out
That's
front?
just.
Let's hope he doesn't go to Dairy Queen.
that's right.
Actually, seriously, you probably shouldn't go there.
Oh my God. All right,
I
let's
can see
take.
like Dairy Queen people that know like we actually do that. Like, seriously.
There's some. I mean, that's. He read it on a website, so it's probably true. Although, I'm a little suspicious just because he didn't cite where the whole Ebola at Starbucks was. I'm much more comfortable with the whole Semen story than the Ebola transfer story because he didn't cite a source for that one. It also sounds like, frankly, that Harlem is ground zero for Ebola, and I want to know what the heck is going on up there.
The doctor doesn't even live in Harlem. He couldn't even get that right.
He doesn't live in Harlem? does
No,
he?
he lives in Brooklyn.
No, he doesn't.
No, he lives in Harlem. He was going to Brooklyn. That was.
I
What are you
don't
going
know.
to tell us now, Matt?
Oh,
look at
You can't
you.
get semen in your Starbucks? Wow.
And apparently, Mr. Binder had too much semen in his latte and couldn't get the basic facts of the Ebola story correctly.
Yeah. Maybe you should spend less time doing your Gamergate videos.
More time
Get
following
your-
And well,
Christ.
the article he talks about is one of those like clickbaity, like were semen samples really found in Starbucks drinks nationwide,
And then
initiating an FDA
what was the answer?
investigation?
No.
Let me look. Let me look.
Answer, no.
And the answer is
Snopes
Snopes even has something about it. That's how. I mean, when you're
I have a feeling that the pastor does not strike me as the type of guy who's very rigorous in checking if his information is an urban legend.
I would just love to be friends with him on Facebook and watch remember when those Facebook notices went around where people would put like, I hereby under some convention that doesn't exist, like copyright all of my personal information on Facebook or something.